Hello and welcome to Wedding Day TV with me, Peter Sefton, on this day, the 30th of April 2011. One day after the big royal wedding for quite some time. You must admit, I hope you all saw it, whether it was on your TV or on the internet. First of all, I just want to go through a bit of something which happened beforehand. William actually snuck away to play five-a-side football a couple of days beforehand on his Ducati motorbike, just to have a little laugh and a bit of a chill out with his pals before the big day. Also, Tesco, I presume, went ahead and actually did a mug to commemorate the big day, which was of their first kiss, which would have been produced an hour after the event and sold for £4.95, which £1 would have been going to charity. So look out for that, please. I just want to show you, before I go through details about the big day, some of the pictures which were taken of the big day. There's 4 pictures I've actually just going to show you. I'm not going to show you every single picture because I'll take forever in all the papers. But first of all, leaving Westminster Abbey, the happy couple there. I don't think I hope you can see that okay at home. Yes, that's good. Or at work, wherever you may be in the world. Yes. So first of all, yes, that's them. Leave Westminster Abbey. I quite like that one. That's a nice one. Also, waving in the official state land now as they go to Buckingham Palace for their reception. That's a nice one. Also, this has got to be my favourite one of all. Is them kissing with also a little bridesmaid called Grace. I'll go into a bit more detail. Covering her ears up because it's just a wee bit too noisy. There she is. Awesome though. Just a wee bit too noisy for her, but that's a nice picture anyway. And if you remember, if you have a look about, it was actually produced in a paper before today, well, before the actual wedding, of Prince William actually yawning at a wedding. But so this will actually stay with her for the rest of her life, and it'll probably be dug out when she gets married as well. But there we go. Okay. Also, one final picture, which I think is showing the fun side of both William and also especially Harry, seeing as he organised it, was when they went after the first reception, went to Clarence House for a bit of a rest in between receptions. How did they get from Buckingham Palace to Clarence House? Well, they did it in an Aston Martin, a vintage Aston Martin, DB6, which Prince Harry actually arranged and also decorated. And I think that's just a nice picture, just to say this is just one thing we enjoyed. I thought there'd be some confetti, but no confetti was seen anywhere. But perhaps I would have been a bit too messy. I knew it was banned from Westminster Abbey, but I thought there'd be some confetti out there on the balcony, but no. But this is just a nice piece to say we do like doing everything, you know, the way everybody else does as well. I know we're royal, but we do like to just enjoy ourselves, and this is one of the fun-loving sides that I do like about, you know, the royal family or the next generation of the royal family, or the generation after generation of the royal family. But this is one thing which you know, I think is a nice touch. So well done, Harry, for organising that. Right, down to the paperwork now, serious stuff. Yes, as you probably know, on at 8 o'clock before the actual wedding, on the day itself, the Queen actually said that when they actually, which they haven't actually got married, but now they're actually married. both of them will actually carry the Duke, will be called the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. I'll just go through a bit more information about this. Oops, I'll pick up the floor. The actual Dukedom of Cambridge was created in 1801, but became extinct at the death of the second Duke in 1904. Prince George was known as the second Duke of Cambridge, was born 1819 and was grandson of George III and the only son of Prince, here we go, Adolphus Frederick the first Duke of Cambridge. See, I said that quite well. You probably had doubts I was going to get through that, but yeah, I said it quite well. Yeah, he served in the Crimean War and was promoted to Commander-in-Chief in 1887. And believe it or not, when they went through Horse Guards Parade, they actually passed a statue of the second Duke on his horse, which is at Westminster. Well, yeah, Westminster. Sorry, Westminster. Of course, it was Westminster. Ministry of Defence, Whitehall. Horse Guards Parade, of course. And what thing of it? Well, yeah, bear with me. Yeah. Also, this is not in any particular order, so if I do jump around as far as time goes, just bear with me. Yeah, William actually wore, because he is Colonel, as well as his RAF duties at RAF Valley, Anglesey, North Wales. He is a Colonel in the Irish Guards, so he actually wore his bright red Irish Guards dress tunic with a bright blue sash, with his RAF wings attached to it. Also, he actually wore his garter staff where calm down, Peter. Where the Queen has actually he's made him the 1,000th member of the Garter. Oh dear, hang on, calm down. He did actually, before the wedding, he did actually say to people that he was going to wear his RAF uniform, but that was just to throw people, and because he didn't want people actually, you know, getting to know exactly what he was wearing. And I think that was kind of a nice little side shuffle he did, just to kind of throw people off the scent. Also, just to cover about the florist. The florist who actually holds the royal warrant was Shane Connell, 47. The warrant is from Prince of Wales. He designed the layout, which he also included 20-foot high trees, which you probably saw. I don't think there was any birds nesting in it though. Also, there were 6 English field maples and also 2 hornbeams. In the buttonholes and bouquets, there was also Lily of the Valley, which is one of the Queen's favourite. On the dress side, Samantha Cameron didn't wear a hat. It's entirely up to her, but she didn't wear a hat. I did see a few other people not wearing hats. If your hat doesn't see you, please don't fit it. Don't wear it, sorry, fit it. Yes, also, there were 2 other people, 2 other ambassadors who were refused their to attend. They were told not to. There was the actual ambassador of Syria and also Libya. I wonder why. Anyway. Also, yeah, as you probably know, the actual wedding dress was actually made by Sarah Burton from the Alexander McQueen Design Studios. Also, yeah, the halo tiara was actually borrowed from the Queen, and that was made in 1936. Cartier tiara, of course, made in 1936. And the ring, there's only a couple of mishaps. The ring slightly struggled to get on her finger, which you have to apply a bit more force than you probably thought. And also, when he actually sat down in the carriage to go from Westminster Abbey to Buckingham Palace for the reception, he actually sat down on the wrong side, which he quickly realised and moved over. Also, the balcony scene was actually first introduced in 1923. Also, as well as street parties all over what is it, 5,500 street parties. Bucklebury in Berkshire, which is the home of the Middletons, had a big marquee to celebrate the day. Kate only arrived 20 seconds late at the church. Sorry, at the Abbey, Westminster Abbey. Just a little bit. Westminster Abbey. Also, after the actual wedding, there was a horse called Royal Wedding at 4 to 1, which was at Fontnell, which actually won. And the bookmaker said they're going to actually pay out, or have to pay out, of course, £10 million on that. Also, William actually, as you know, likes a bit of a joke. I do like that because it helps to calm the nerves as well. But William actually said to Kate's father when they arrived, "I just thought this would be a small affair." Also, one thing I missed out when I went through on the previous video, when I went through everything about the bride's tiara, dress, train, shoes, one important thing about her look that I did unfortunately miss out because I didn't have the information at the time was her hair, which was styled by James Price, and he's from the Richard Ward salon, which he normally uses in London. The cakes, there was 2 cakes. There was the traditional 8-tier, well, not about 8-tier, but a tiered wedding cake. Not everybody has 8 tiers, do they? No. Well, there wasn't some people at the reception. Normal tiered wedding cake, and also he had a cake, a chocolate and biscuit cake as well. When they actually left for the in-between chilling out at Clount's house, in between the 2 receptions, they of course left in a vintage 41-year-old Aston Martin 1970 Volant DB6 Mark II, for those car lovers out there. And it also had L plates, red and white ribbons and with giant bows, and also balloons with their initials on. And also on the back number plate it said, as well as the L plate as well, which I don't know if it said, but L plate as well, on the back it actually said JU5TWED, and this was in a Charles blue colour, which they both enjoyed. Also, at that time, when they were going just a 500 yards to Clount's house, they actually had a fly past of an RAF bright yellow search and rescue seeking helicopter, which flew overhead. There was one slight equestrian mishap when they were actually leaving Parliament Square to go towards Buckingham Palace. Ahead of the actual couple, there were 20 horses from the Blues and Royals, and one of these big black chargers actually got a bit spooked with all the crowds cheering, reared up and unseated its rider, but it was perfectly fine. They caught the horse and it was okay. Yeah, also, yeah, the dress, let's go through just a brief overall description of what Kate was wearing. 1936 Cartier Halo tiara, which is borrowed by the Queen, as I said before. The veil was made of layers of soft ivory silk tulle with a trim of hand embroidered flowers. The bodice, narrowed at the waist and padded at the hips, is a hallmark of the McQueen designs. For the dress, individual flowers were hand cut from lace and sewn into ivory silk tulle. The train measured 2 meters 70 centimeters, and the shoes were made of satin and also embroidered, hand embroidered lace, and they were also Alexander McQueen design as well. This dress was actually similar to Grace Kelly's 1956 wedding dress when she married Prince Rainier of Monaco. Just seeing if there's anything else. Oh, the actual little bridesmaid who actually put her hand over her ears, which is, where's it again? Oh, I've got to show this again. Excuse me. There she is, there at the bottom there. Yeah, her full name is Grace Van Cutson, and she is William's goddaughter. Also, the other carriages that were actually used on the day, as well as the State Landau carriage, which Kate and William actually used. The Ascot Landau was used by Prince Harry and the bridesmaids, and also the Scottish State Coach was used by the Queen and Prince Philip. I think for the moment this is all from me, Peter Sefton from Wedding Day TV. I will have another read of some of the papers and later on in the week and see if there's any more news about the royal wedding. But that's all from me this day, the 30th of April 2011. Thank you for listening.